Yeah, definitely. You'd want to get those horses to follow that lead rope and follow the feel of it, no matter where it goes, where you can operate those feet, forward or back, right or left. The horse understands your space and you understand his. And it wouldn't be a situation where you'd have to maybe take this and bump him up like this, you know. It would just be a situation where either you have the lead rope here or you don't. It's against his neck or it's away. Or in the case of a neck rein, it's either here or it's just no more than here, really, and it's a feeding effect. So when you're neck reining to the right, it's that feeding effect that comes down, because when you take a direct rein, you better feed an equal amount of support rein to make the balance correct and to get the horse to be encouraged about taking his head that other way. And that would be like this. So there, it's just that suggestion of following the feel of that lead rope. And so I could be here and that horse can make the way around the circle here and follow me this way. Okay. And then we'll head out in this line and I'll ask him to catch up and follow that lead rope there. See, I could ask him to catch up. See how I could send him. No one's on his back. No one's kicking him in the belly. No one has spurs. So that's pretty interesting. You could get these horses to follow in your feel just off that lead rope. You're okay. He thought he should stop. No big deal. Hey, and when the horse doesn't do exactly what you were expecting, just move on. You don't have to punish him for it. Just move on to something else, you know. Just keep rocking and rolling. Keep going. So he doesn't know. He's just doing the best he can. All we can do is our best. We'll go this way now. There we go. He's starting to where he won't even let me take the slack out of that lead rope. See, he's so encouraged to stay up there. Then around the corner here, see, I could just have him follow that, catch up with me. A little slippery right there. There we are. Okay, then I'd want to let him know when it was over, when we don't have to go forward anymore. And that would be right when I'm here, right where my stirrup would be. This is where my legs would be. So this is what I call the riding position from the ground. And so you'll teach those horses to pick you up right here and present that stirrup to you. So that's real important. They learn to just relax and get really, really comfortable with you being right here. Okay. Now we'll go out this way and see if we can just get him to flow around the turn here. Now watch my hand. My hand will come back here. And notice that I'm giving him room to go. So I'm going to go this way now. I'm looking over here. I'm just simply really looking where I need to go, where my focus is. I'm the one that's leading him. So I'm going to take that leadership role and let him know exactly where we're going by my intention of where I'm looking. Go through here. Come back to me here. Follow me here. Follow my hand there. Then I can go this way. I'll turn around and face him. Show you this. Go this way. Notice where I'm looking here. See, he's pausing. I do a lot of teaching with him. And he knows when I have to pause and talk for a little bit. He's going to wait for me. So anyway, I'm looking here. See? And I need him to go through that space. And so you're not blocking him. Okay? You want to get away from a horse. If I need to come through here, I'll just step that direction. If I need him to go through here, let me get over here because of the camera. I'm just going to start stepping this way. And my hand's low here, see? My hand's not up real high like that. If I were to do this, then I'd be blocking his vision. So could he learn to do that? Yeah, but see, you're teaching him something you might not want to teach him. And that would be for him to go into pressure. And that is not a good habit to teach. So instead of putting your hand up here high here, and then what would happen, watch this. If I started to take this lead rope and swing it, okay, like that, does he move? Is he concerned? Yes, he is. But that's not what I want for him, so I'm blocking him. That could confuse him. 2 hands high like this. I'd rather have 1 hand low and have him follow that. See how that halter rope works underneath his chin? So if I put that higher, better pet him for a minute here. There we go. He's a pretty sensitive horse, and I got to keep him calm a lot of times. So he's an overachiever for sure. So anyway, this going back and forth, see, that's the way that's meant to be, right underneath there. So he could take his head this way, take his head this way, take his head this way, okay? And then you get that swing going, and you could just swing those, as if to say, swing those feet out there. Take this right underneath his chin and swing the feet that way. Swing the shoulders around. Take the rein this way, swing the shoulders right through there. But really, you know, you're working on all 4 feet. All 4 feet around the turn. So have him come around here now, and I want him to present that stirrup. So what I'd do is I'd reach back here and I'd ask him if he could come up. If he could come up there a little bit more and put his stirrup right here. Including in the leading would be to get the horse to understand the forward and the back of the lead rope. So he's got the right and the left. He's got the lead up for sure. He's got the right and the left and the change of directions. And then, and this isn't necessarily in that order. You can, it just depends on the horse, but you could experiment with it. But for now, we're gonna see if we can get this horse to follow the lead rope down like this, see? All the way down and then all the way up. A lot of people don't work on that part. We're just gonna shift the weight up. See if he can just lift his head up. That's better. And then up, and what if we could shift the weight back off that foot? That would be nice one day if we could do that. Have the head come down here now, and then have him shift his weight back here. He's hung up just a little bit. I'm gonna drop that rope down there and give that some meaning. There we go. See how I handled that? So head down. If he could follow that down, that'd be great. If he could just follow that. There's a little resistance in there. I'm just gonna work with him. There, right there is good, see? Now, that left front is forward, so we're gonna see if we can step that 1 foot back. See, I raised up and he raised up his head. That's okay, he's a little concerned, but this is a perfect, there we go, example of how you might work with a horse that's a little resistant. So that was nice, really nice, real good, real good. Okay, let's get his head back straight. Now his head down, if he could. You just want him to follow this down. There we go. Now back, because the right front is forward, so that would be the foot that would step back. There it is, right there. And then notice his head stay down there. He says, you know, I can keep my head down there. And that's not for a circus trick. That is a litmus test to show you the relaxation that he might have in that moment. Okay. In this lead rope to rein connection, we have a direct rein present, and then we can change to a support, or as some Western riders call it, a neck rein. Okay, so here's our direct rein, and you want to get it to where that horse could walk parallel with you. You could turn, and that horse would keep up right around the corner. Okay, and then what you would is you could take this lead rope and you could place this here a little bit more, and you could place this right here, right there, and he'd step over. Then back to the direct rein. So we're gonna take it as it comes here. You get a free flowing movement forward. There it is right there. So free flowing movement forward. So here, then it comes up to here. See, that was a little abrupt. I don't have much space here, but no excuses. But I have this little island to work on. So I need a little more room here to show you. And right here, I'm not pushing into him here. I'm paralleling his body right here. Because if I was on his back, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be riding and I'd be presenting this hand forward onto his neck. And then he would take that opportunity to look to the right. It's not about pushing. That's a really a big misconception about a neck rein, is that you're pushing it. Well, you're not. He might feel it on his neck, but that's about as far as it goes. That turn, I'll go back to the direct rein on this side. It's like this. Around the corner here. So just laying that right here, see? Right here. And then see how he got bound up there? And of course I faced him. But I'm just showing you how I'd work with him. That's the most important thing for you guys to see, how I'd work with him. So he got a little stuck there. I'm going to start again. Forward, make sure you have a lot of forward when you do this. And then you rotate and you start to look over his important point there is you're looking right here. Then forward. Now let's try this other side. I'll get him set up. That's really nice of him. Did you see him put some effort into that walk to get up there? Always trying to put the slack in that lead rope. I'm taking the slack out, he's putting the slack in. Okay. All right. Let's get him set up here. I'm going to look over his withers here. Right on across. And when I come to the camera here, I want you to see my path of trajectory here is right out in front of me. I'm pointing where my focus is, where my core energy is through this area, right? It's not at him. As far as where to look, you could look out there like I just demonstrated, or you can start to look over his withers here, just like this. Especially if you need a little bit of a turn, a little bit more over the hocks, you can look over his wither this way. Other than that, I'm here putting my energy out here. See, he's trying to come into me, if you notice that. Forward, I need him forward, there. There we go. So we're walking together. So when you walk on the street with your friend, you're not bumping into him. So that's the same thing here. We just want to step the shoulders across there and have him go for the reason of going with us and following that feel, not for the reason that he's being crowded and pushed and shoved on. You want him to start to come before the slack ever gets out of that rope. Forward or back. Then you could operate the feet. And when I draw on that, he starts to come forward. And if I take it this way and that way, that he'd come up there. They could start to feel you reach for that rope. And then you'd want them to respond off of that signal, off of that feel coming from your fingertips to the reins. Whether that be the rein or the lead rope, wouldn't matter. And to follow this around here like that. And to where you could get it to where they wouldn't ever pull on that. That would be the goal. So I'm just inviting him to come up next to me here. See if he can make it around the corner here. Sometimes they want to hang back a little bit. And that's their right. They're just a little defensive about it. They're not sure if they could come up into your space here to the left. There we go. Now he's making a little effort to get up there. So he's learning how to follow that lead rope. And then if I eased off, he'd ease off right along with me. And then we could hang out here. If I just took the slack out of that rope only and not pulled on him, could he bring his head around? Just a little bit, that would be fine. That would be the acknowledgement. And then from here, I want to lead him out in this direction and see how efficient he is about coming around the corner there. Following my lead rope here, my hand. See, he gets stuck. He's getting stuck a little bit behind me there. But he's learning how to get around and following that. Let's take this lead rope, take the slack out of it. And he comes back. Good boy. When the horse is with you, when he's truly with you, there's no need for pulling. There's no need for excess pressure. You could set up your lead rope in a way that he might understand what to do with it, the feel on that lead rope. So if I took the slack out here, and I just simply took my hand back toward me, and he'd follow that just like that. And then if I walked out behind him like this, he'd know what to do with those feet. He'd start making preparation. He could follow me here. He could follow that hand. I'll give him a little time to catch up. There we go. See him making the effort to get up there? Get up real close, because you're giving him that really nice comfort when he does, when he gets right here. And lo and behold, this is your riding position. This is where you're going to be situated positionally when you're on his back. This is just the position from the ground. I'm right by my stirrup. And if I took this hand right here and took the slack out of it and just dropped that down or up, it doesn't really matter. They have learned to follow the feel, so you can see his head coming around there like that. And by you being back here by the stirrup, there's no way he can run into you with his head. Versus if you were up here, and that's fine if you're just going to pet on him and snuggle him a little bit. You know, in itself, that's okay. But you have to be aware when you take a horse's head for the first time, they're a little resistant. You're going to be right in the way, and they're going to be very discouraged about taking their head around. Have him shift his weight back. It's good to have these horses go forward and back with the feel of that lead rope right here. And then it swings back. See the swing happening there with the lead rope and my body as well. Right here, that's something to it. But also just the hand. Just the hand swinging back and the hand swinging forward here. But it's a little harder for him to come forward right into my elbow, right? You wouldn't want that. So that's why I put a little sway in my body. It's just to communicate the fact that I need him to step forward and there's space for him. And I need him to take a step back off of that space, right underneath his chin. So if you ever take the direct rein like this, however it is you take it, if you lift it, if you take it to the side, if you take it back, you have to provide the equal amount of slack coming in on the outside rein. So that might look like this. I'm going to feed that rein to his neck here. Then we're going to go to the left. I'm going to take my left rein and I'm going to feed that down his neck like so. Then the left. Now straight. Now I'll take my right rein and feed it down his neck here. Go this way. It's not that there isn't any direct rein there, because there is. but you're building up to the point to where the horse needs less and less direct rein. I'm going to feed the left rein to him here. I'm going to go straight, and I'm going to feed the right rein. So I'm feeding that to him here. Feed the left rein. And all these other components are working for me as well, like the look, my focus, my intention, where I'm going. A lot of people ask, well, how much leg are you using, or how much of this or that? Well, I try to use the least amount of everything possible. And in fact, if I'm just walking around serpentines like this, there's really no leg at all. I'm just shaping, I'm looking, my body, I'm letting my body where it needs to go. But there's nothing really exaggerated about it, okay? So I take this outside rein here, and I give him the slack. You see him take that? So then the horse isn't learning to rein off of pressure, he's learning to rein off of the release, okay? So if I take my rein here, I'm just gonna lift this up to exaggerate that a little bit. Now watch me feed the rein to him here. Now this rein, his neck. And then what that produces is here, right here on his neck. It's the release down his neck here that produces that result, because he can feel that. Okay? So as I come toward the camera here, I'll show you. This rein here, it's holding my fingers like that so you can see it. So if I hold my fingers like this, and you can see how I've dropped that down on the neck there. You'll spend a lot of time going straight on these horses, where that's going to be their default position, is straight. And me personally, I'll lay off the lateral moves for quite a while until I get that straightness as a foundation. I'm going to release the rein down the left side there for a right turn, then go straight. In the absence of right and left is straight. So if you can show the horse what you mean by right and left, then in the absence of that, you're going straight. There's not a worry about it. I'm going to release the rein down his left side now, or his right side to go left. And I'm going to help him just a little bit with that Rommel rein right here, see? So I don't have to pull on his mouth there.